Hello internet, and today I'm going to show you my one team that will be able to auto all of Simulator Universe relatively safely, even up to difficulty 3. My goal is to make the most accessible team that anyone can make, so for this showcase, I will not be using anything other than 3 characters. Here's the team: Fire Trailblazer, Natasha, March 7th, and Serval or Dadheck. Only for World 5 though. My best build character in this team is March 7th. I have the defense and shield increasing sets, and all of the irrelevant relics I have on are defense percent main stat. I also have a +0 link probe, and yet on this build she was able to auto difficulty 3. You might think this is difficult, but honestly you might not need her to be that good. Next up we have Serval. You mainly want her for her lightning element, and that's about it because there's a really big number of enemies that are weak against lightning throughout worlds 3 to 6. My stats are honestly not too impressive, and the set, I assure you, does not matter too much. Anyone who plays her a bunch will easily have a better one at level 50. As long as she survives and does some damage, she'll be fine. Thirdly is the Fire Trailblazer. My brother in Christ, my Trailblazer has only 1+3 link row, so yes, trust me, yours is easily better. Finally, we have Natasha, and now I somehow only have a +2 sphere. I have the outgoing healing set, which I got from playing the story, so you should have them as well. Those are the stats. Like code wise, you can pretty much put anything you have on these characters, but if you want to have an easier time, try and get Fire Trailblazer, the Lando's Choice like code, or Moment of Victory like code. Both makes her more likely to be hit, which is what you would want. Remember to keep them leveled because the flat stat they give are going to help you out a bunch. Now I like to address the elephant in the room. There are eidolons. I'm a massive loser, so I have E6 on March and Natasha, but I assure you, the eidolons does not matter. Keep watching the video and, decide for yourself if I won because I had the eidolons. In fact, just to handicap myself, I don't even have their bonus ability unlocked, and they'll work fine. Also, I'm gonna beat difficulty 3, so if you're trying to beat anything before that, it's like guaranteed you win. I'm gonna start with World 1 and 2, which went like this. Let's start with World 3, potentially the most important one because of the really good sets they drop. The idea for this world is this: abuse the barrier. Choose the path of preservation. Next, you hit auto. Choose as much preservation blessings as you can. Get the upgrade that lets your residents crit. Basically what I did for my Gepard solo video. If you're bored of that idea, don't worry. I've got something else for World 5. A standard fight will look like this. March and Serval will spam AoE elemental damage and kill everything in due time. Fire Trailblazer with March's shield will always make sure that the enemy only hit the Fire MC. Reason being, March's shield makes it more likely for the target to be hit as well. And Fire MC should ideally have the light cone that does the same. Plus, she can also taunt the enemy, so yeah, you should be relatively safe even if you don't have the light cone. Natasha is honestly just there to look pretty. You don't even need to heal that much, for now at least. This run I was able to obtain the double quick damage blessings, which isn't actually an absolute need, but very nice to have. What you do need are as much of these blessings that can help you out defensively as possible, because with this team, survival is everything. And with a smack of a guitar, we are going to fight Gepard. The whole idea here is to just, well, auto it. You don't really need to think about how it works, if I'm being real with you, since you will likely just win now, but if you need an explanation, we are abusing this thing. Gepard is a boss, and considering this is difficulty 3, he hits pretty hard. And because he hits hard, March with auto will do her shield eventually. Natasha on auto will use her heal if need be, and Fire Trailblazer will provide a small shield constantly. That rhymed beautifully. As long as this cycle continues, you will not die easily. In between turns, you'll activate your path resonance, even with very minor shields, because that crits, it actually still hurts pretty badly. After the cycle went by long enough, Gepard can't take it anymore and died to the resonance that hit for 63k damage, by the way. He brought some cooler friends and did his own shield thingy, which with one resonance pop, most of it is gone. All of that happens with this team. Barely a single one of them with a +15 relic at all, going at almost full health across the board. I did get kind of close to dying with Serval, but only because I gave her a level 1 light cone for this fight by accident, and she still lived somehow in one phase 2. With the final phase coming, he brings in even bigger friends. There really isn't much fancy crit going on though. The same cycle just repeated for about 3 minutes and he just can't take it anymore. And there you have it, World 3, difficulty 3, destroyed pretty easily with my whole team alive at level 50 with very minimal investment. I guess except March. Bow down to March. Bow down to your god. The only issue that you might find is that this takes quite a bit of time, but you can always bring a team with a hyper carry DPS that you have to clear the mobs quick and switch in Serval before the boss fight with the downloader. Again, I'm assuming you have the worst account in the world and you only have a team of 3 characters, so yeah, if you have someone else, maybe like a Sela, you can definitely just use her and it might just get faster. I showed you a normal run, but here's what happens when you get a perfect run. I somehow got this and obtained all the blessings of remembrance, and on my command! On my command!
hungry. I'm cold. I'm itchy. Pussy.
Mauricio, I can't move it anymore.
What?
Mauricio, I can't.
On my command.
I can't.
Next we have World 4, in which I've also unlocked the difficulty 3 of at the time of recording. The elites weren't too tough, it's again the same cycle that they just can't cope with. Having a quick blessing, especially the one where it procs when you get hit, would be pretty good for this because of the amount of times Pharaoh attacks. But unfortunately I got 0 3-star preservation blessing for this whole run, so yeah, pretty unlucky. Like what? I tried to go in but obviously lost. I did hang to the last phase though, so with just a tad bit better blessing I could have easily won. So I tried one more time, this time around having the best 3-star preservation blessing for this team, the one that deals quick damage if I'm hit with a shield dot. Pharaoh's first phase sees him summoning a lot of mobs, all of which are weak against lightning, including himself. Here's where Cyril is pretty good. Well, I say that, but she really needs to just hit Pharaoh and weaken his toughness. The others will probably just die to the resonance anyway, but she can also break all of the mobs' toughness instantly with her ult, which yeah, pretty good value, I'm not gonna lie. After a short 2 minutes, my team gets the final resonance in and survived healthily. With phase 2 coming in, Pharaoh brings in 2 Pharaoh Juniors, which are both weak to ice and lightning. You should have no problem constantly breaking their butt with March and Cyril with the amount of AoE attacks they do. I managed to kill both the mobs with 2 resonances, so yeah, it was not too hard at all. And with a total of about 3 minutes, the final resonance brings him down. Now we have the final phase. This is a little tough since this first hand here is weak only against Cyril in this team. You can definitely lose if it grabs your Cyril, but that's saying if you're unlucky enough for a hyper taunting fire trailblazer to not be grabbed, or if you don't have a shield on Cyril beforehand. See what I did there? Beforehand? I'm so funny. And what do you know, he did grab my Cyril. This is pretty much the worst RNG, but the thing is, we still win. Firstly, I had the barrier to survive the grab, and with a single resonance, I was able to drop the hand's health low enough that it returned Cyril to me just like that. That's actually how it works, by the way. Either you break their weakness or drop them low enough, they'll return your ally to you. Bro dapped her up and dipped, man. What? The next hand, he summoned to grab the Trailblazer as I hoped, which Cyril easily breaks the hand, and we get her back. All while weakening Pharaoh very quickly, by the way. This process just repeated a bunch of times, and when you see Pharaoh tanking 4 resonances, he's probably close to death. Things got a bit close. We did lose our Natasha with only a +2 Electrum, that's it. But with how the team is set up, you should be healthy enough to get that final resonance in before Pharaoh gets too crazy. And there you have it. World 4 difficulty free autoed with a very minimal investment. The boss fight took about 8 minutes, which can get faster if it built them better. Remember, my team pretty much only has a built March and a half built Cyril with the 2 others barely geared. I have eidolons, but I don't even have their first bonus ability from Traces unlocked. So yeah, all in all, if you have the 3 characters well built, you shouldn't be facing any issues, and the eidolons shouldn't matter. Next up, we have World 5, which at the same equilibrium level, we only get difficulty 2. And you know what? Just spamming shields might be boring, so we're gonna do something else for a change. We kinda need to anyway. We're going to use the same team, but replace Cyril with Dan Heng. I know I said it's one team to solo everything, but you can honestly just put your relics you had on Cyril right over to Dan Heng. He'll do fine. Light cone doesn't matter as long as you have it leveled. And again, if you're skeptical, just watch how it plays out and decide whether or not eidolons or light cones are the only reason I want. Choose the path of abundance, grab as much blessing of abundance as you can, and hit auto. Choose the upgrade that lets your resonance appear in the action order and the one that applies subduing evil, which basically means it will cleanse your debuff. Try and get the dewdrop blessing as well. If you don't, it's gonna get a little harder. Once you have everything in check, with a shot of a grenade, we fight difficulty 2 Kafka. The trick here is to not be dominated by Kafka, which is difficult when she's that alluring. When I fight her, I almost don't want to win. But whenever she tries and control your ally, you can simply cleanse it off and you'll just shake it off. Here's where having a resonance in your action order with a D-spell every time it happens will help you out. Here you can see Kafka dominating me. I unfortunately had to take the turn and hit my own ally, but I had the abundance resonance coming up, which pretty much full heal and cleansed my team. That also shook out the dominating, so yeah, I'm back to my healthy self. If you had March or Natasha's first ability bonus bonus unlocked. You literally get to dispel that debuff without the resonance though. But as far as my research went, having the extra team-wide full heal and cleanse is pretty darn reliable. The rest of the problem would pretty much be how do we kill her? That's where Dewdrop comes in. They pretty much do extra damage based on the amount of heal you obtained or your max health depending on which blessing you got. I got both in this run, which make things simpler. But you don't necessarily need both though. But the fact that Kefka can't dominate me and I just full heal every round with my resonance, we defeat her phase 1 easily. Second phase sees Kefka do well. Nothing too different. If anything, I think Kefka is the easiest boss out of the 3 I fought till now. She now gets to deal with 2 of your allies and might control them if not cleansed. And since you do have a crazy reliable resonance for that, you will be totally fine. So again, I full heal every turn. She can't dominate me. So we dominated her back. Dewdrop's damage did well for me. So yeah, should do well for you too. And before long, we destroyed her phase 2. I don't even have to explain for phase 3. She can't dominate me, nor can she kill me. So we just win. With full darn health, by the way. It's not even close. So yes, you might be able to get away with even less stats or blessings. Hopefully by now I've proven that the eidolons I have is not necessary. I showed you the normal run, so now I'm gonna show you a perfect run. I got this to pop up somehow again and got all the blessings of elation. Here's how it went.
I can help. Ready?
And then we have World 6, the one world that usually stops me whenever I try anything. This is also on difficulty 2, which is the hardest one at Equilibrium 4. And yep, it did it again. The problem here was that I'm just not supposed to beat it with little to no investment. There might be some ways you could, but I'm too dumb to figure it out. Anyways, I like damage with this team with Sorrel, which was the main issue. I went for the Path of Abundance because I thought I probably needed to get rid of the freeze and heal up against the constant nuke from Cocolia later on. But who knew the one to stop me is this darn obese penguin. Long story short, I couldn't kill him in time. He got a berserk thingy and sat on me. It was not pleasant. I tried again with Chingtra this time, which I had very premium gear on, which still didn't work and bro just one-shots me. This might have worked with the Path of the Hunt because I really needed something to kill these mobs that happen to also be quite tanky. But still, probably not on auto since the AI doesn't really time it currently and it's only based on your highest attack character, which mine not really that high. And I don't think having Path of the Hunt will do me well against the perma-freeze Cocolia and turn cycling from Bronya. With that, I unfortunately had to downgrade to difficulty 1, which is still a lot higher level than my characters, right? And for this one, I used the Path of Preservation. Got a double Quake Blessings and destroyed them. Several somehow died at phase 3, but only because I gave her a level 1 light cone on accident again. I still won, by the way. Makes me wonder if I could just use the Preservation path for difficulty 2 as well, but you know what? You go try this. It'll be worth it if you don't got a lot of characters to work with anyway to invest in these characters I showed you. And that is the auto team for all Simulated Universe. It's also relatively safe, so there are faster teams, but might not be that safe though. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope I helped you out. Also, if you don't mind, let me know what sort of content you'd like to see from me in the comments down below. I'm kind of crazy, so I do some crazy things as long as you'd like to see them. And that is all for today. Take care.